Hello, welcome back. In this video we'll be showing you our dashboard where we can see and analyze the data that we previously collected with the devices that we just explained. So once you log into the dashboard, you have several options on how you can analyze and view your data, both raw and also pre-analyzed with our algorithms. So the first option that we'll go through is affective analysis, and that is basically positioning the stimuli that we just tested in the app on a two-dimensional emotional model. These two-dimensional models include on one side valence, which is how positive the emotion is, whether it's positive or negative, and the second dimension is how strong or weak the emotion is, in other words, the arousal. So in this arousal valence model, we can see that the four stimuli that we've tested are located here with the values 0.2 and -2 for arousal and valence. We can also see what is the preferred stimuli, meaning what was the product or the stimuli that had the highest valence. We can also see the most positive triggers, meaning what were the most highest moments in the strength of the emotion evoked by a certain stimuli. At the end, we have a chart of emotions elicited over time during our test, and here we can see how did this project look like. This is all average for all the respondents that we had. Below we have the spectral analysis, which is the analysis of the EEG or the neural data that we collected through our research project. So here we see the average frequency response, which are all the EEG averaged across each of our respondents, analyzed through some of the most common filters. Below that we see the average frequency response by channel, and then below that we have event-related potentials, or ERP, which is a mathematical model of analyzing EEG signals with millisecond precision in a single moment, basically clearing out the noise and just looking out what did the stimuli really evoke. Below that we have option to analyze stress levels, or to be more precise, point care plots. So when we select this option, we can see the RR intervals. So basically the analysis of the intervals in between the signals for heart rate variability, or HRV, which is predictive of stress levels. And here we see a graphical representation of how does the stress look like. The more the points are in a single point, the more the stress is detected. After that we have cognitive states. This basically measures cognitive workload in a specific moment, meaning how hard was it for you to think through a certain task. The cognitive workload is measured from 1 to 100, 1 being the least and 100 being the most challenging. And here we have different results from each stimuli that we've tested. At the end we have the analysis of explicit questionnaires. So as we previously mentioned, we have several different psychometric tests to profile each respondent and to see what are their personality traits and characteristics, so we can analyze all the explicit answers that they gave us. And last but not the least, we have the statistical analysis of all the data that we collected, so both biometric and explicit. And that will be sort of the short summary of the system that we have over here. And this is enough to do simple but interesting affective computing research projects, which is the purpose of this lab.